Wear the mask, or we're going to put you in jail or fine you. You can take that risk yourself. And they're doing it in order to get you to believe this is some productive fail-safe against spread of the virus. They're propagandizing you with hysteria, not facts. There's a downside to that. Let's go to this study that I have in the show notes today. That is a must read. Please. I've had it up a few days in the show notes now. This is from the Center for Infectious Disease and Respiratory Research and Policy. This is all they do at the University of Minnesota. Respiratory diseases, infectious diseases. This is what they study. Here's their article here, which will be in the show notes today, bongino.com/newsletter. Sign up. We'll send you these every day. Commentary. Masks for all for COVID-19 is not based on sound data. I'm not going to go through the whole article because I've discussed it multiple times. Again, because liberals have a tough time digesting information, I'm not telling you not to wear a mask. I'm not telling you masks are evil. I'm not politicizing masks. I'm simply interested in the data, the hysterical media data suggesting that somehow these masks are going to be some kind of cure-all. We could wipe out the problem in just 4 to 6 weeks if we don't want. We can. Is there data on that? There is, because promoting hysteria, leading people to believe that this is some kind of cure-all, a cure-all snake oil, mix the two terms up, has an actual downside, which we can see in this article when we don't do real science. I'm going to read every bit of this because you need to read it. From the University of Minnesota Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy. You've heard it from the left, Joe, right? Well, what's the downside? It's better than doing nothing. Well, is it? They actually asked that question. You know, Joe, science.
Yeah.
Quote, wearing a cloth mask or face covering could be better than doing nothing, but we simply don't know at this point. Joe, data. I know, leftists, you're cringing in horror. This is actual science here. It goes on. We've observed an evolution in the messaging around cloth masks from an initial understanding that they should not be seen as a replacement for physical distancing to more recent messaging, by the way, that's code for media hysteria, that suggests cloth masks are equivalent to physical distancing. And while everyone appears to understand that this messaging suggests that a cloth mask is appropriate only for source control, in other words, to protect an infected person from protecting others, recent CDC and other guidance recommending their use by workers seems to imply that they offer some type of personal protection. You understand now why we do facts on this show? You want to wear a mask? You're in a business that wants to mandate masks? You go right ahead. Period. I have nothing else to... I'm not kidding. Do what you deem is best for you and your family. But media hysteria about masks, because the president was initially skeptical about some national mask mandate, and it still is, has led people to believe, Joe, follow me here, buddy, that it is some kind of replacement because masks are it now because, Trump wasn't in on the mask mandate, that it was somehow a replacement for physically distancing yourself from other people. It's not. It's not. In other words, they're giving you advice that is not only not helping you, wear a mask. What's the downside? The downside is when we propagandize people about masks other than telling the truth, you're actually creating more risk. Bad choice, worse choice. You're giving them the worst choice. By insisting to them, because you're into propaganda, not facts, that somehow a mask is some kind of impenetrable barrier to this virus, then people get a false sense of security. You create moral hazard. Look it up, libs. And what happens? People forego physical distancing, which is more effective because they've been told by media folks and others that the mask is the solution. You've created more danger, not less. In a trade-off, you've given people the worst scenario, not the bad one.
You just heard Dan Bongino.